Hi, this is Joe again with another review. In this video, I'm going to continue reviewing some Universal Monster films since we're in October 2018 to get into the mood for Halloween. And I'm going to try and do as many as I can. But because I have, some trying issues that came up, and I don't know how many videos I can do this month. It's hectic as hell now. But I'm going to continue to do these monster movies because we're going to be probably doing October monster films. Now, previously I did a review of the 1942 film The Mummy's Tomb. Now I'm going to do the movie that came out before then, before that movie, and that's the 1940 film The Mummy's Hand. Now, of course, this film was the first sequel in the Mummy movie franchise that started in 1932 with Boris Karloff. Now, it took him 8 years to make a sequel. Now, which is like forever in the horror movie genre. But after the original releases of Frankenstein, Dracula, Frankenstein, and the original Mummy in 1932, movie studios, particularly, there was no rating system back then. The rating system didn't come out until 1968. So, you had problems with, Congress want to clamp down on, and the public want to clamp down on these horror movies because they're too scary or too graphic or scares the crap out of people too much. So, when the second horror cycle started in the 40s, I think it really starts with this film. And really trying to make these horror movies a little bit more campier, a little more sillier. The plots, they dumb down the plots a lot, and it had like really silly supporting characters. And this one definitely has that. So, The Mummy's Hand really has that. And continue with the Mummy's Tomb in 1942, which like I mentioned earlier, just reviewed that film. So. It gets really silly and really dumbed down the plot. So it won't be as... I mean, the movie is still a menacing character. I mean, it was a menacing character. Now, I should also mention this was really the first Mummy film that has the mummy wrapped up in the bandages and walking slow and dragging its leg and has all wrapped up like this, dragging its leg and stuff. Because the original Mummy film, they mentioned earlier with Boris Karloff, didn't have that. It was totally different. So check out the original one with Mummy film with Boris Karloff, and you can see what I'm talking about. You don't see the Boris Karloff in wrapped up in the bandages, only in the beginning sequence of that film, and that's it. But the rest of the Mummy films, you have that. Because that was lacking. You're like an actual monster. You didn't have that with Karloff in the original film. So anyway, the Mummy's Tomb is almost like the same. The Mummy's Hand. It's hard to keep track of these films. The Mummy's Hand is almost the same plot as the original movie, and it did have some clips from the original Mummy film from 8 years earlier. They used some of the clips of how the mummy invaded the tomb, took the secret text to keep a person immortal, or make a person immortal, I should say, and not immortal, and they got caught, and it was buried alive. The tongue was yanked out, which of course they're not going. Even in 1932, saying they're not going to do that, so they'll yank the tongue out. Today's standards, maybe in 2018, yes, but not in 1940. They want to do that. But they showed a lot of those clips from the original movie film in this one. So look at it at the beginning of the film. But there was this priest, now this is modern day, and there was a priest, and there's an Egyptian priest who was bring this mummy back from the dead. And as a curse, if you open up the tomb, everybody it's kind of like with King Tut, what happened with King Tut. When King Tut's tomb was open, more than a decade earlier, 6 people died who were involved with that too. That's what's happening with this thing. They use that type of a plot in this film, and people were getting killed by the mummy, who was in control by this high Egyptian priest, and that's what pretty much what the plot is. You have a beautiful girl who was involved, but I should mention the silly part of it was the head guy for this expedition. His character's name is Banning, and nobody would finance this expedition. There was a archaeology professor who helped him out, but he can't get the financing for this thing because everyone was afraid of this curse. But he got a magician and his daughter to finance it. So that's where the silly part came in, because Banning's partner was also a magician by hand. He wasn't an expert magician, but he dabbles in sleight of hand and doing card tricks. And so the other magician is trying to teach Banning's friend, his name is Babe, how to do all these tricks, and he kept screwing it up. It's all for comic relief in this film. And of course, the magician's daughter, didn't want her father to spend all this money on something that's stupid, because he needed every dollar they can have, and it was stupid for them to spend money on this stupid expedition, on this curse. And of course, they couldn't find anything at first. They found this other mummy instead. It was brought to life by this priest, like I said earlier, and the mummy could kill him. And naturally, it's a stereotypical mummy. It's all bandaged up, killing people, walking with, dragging his leg. And how can anybody not run fast enough for this guy? I mean, come on. I mean, it's like the zombie movies, all the zombies walking slow, dragging a leg. I think they all copied that from the early mummy films. Walking like that. Because he's dead. He's all messed up. Like that famous line from Night of the Living Dead. They all messed up because they're dead. So that's why they're walking like that, and they don't run away from these guys. I mean, come on. I mean, at one point, Babe shoots the mummy. Nothing happens. Well, they knock him over the head. Nothing happens. And nothing touches this guy. It's like Jason or Michael Myers or something from the slasher films. Nothing you can do to this guy unless you break a spell, or somehow know what the spell is and try to reverse it. Then you can stop him. But it really was silly. But at least you have an actual monster. Because the problem you had with the original Mummy film was that even though Boris Karloff was threatening, a threatening character who hypnotized people in his voice and Karloff's voice and stuff, it was not. He was not a threatening type monster. Unlike when he played Frankenstein's monster, he was threatening. But when he played the Mummy, or when Karloff played the Mummy, he wasn't threatening enough. But this character was. And it's a completely different mummy, and I think it's the same mummy used for the rest of the Mummies movie series, for the Mummy's Tomb, the Mummy's Curse, and the Mummy's Ghost. I think the other films in that series. But they used this particular mummy, and I think it was Carlos or Carlos or whatever his name was, and it was really, and you have an actual monster that could be joined with Frankenstein's monster, Dracula, and the Wolfman. And that's why a lot of people were missing from when you watch Karloff as the Mummy. Completely different reboot. It's like a reboot of the whole series, really, from in the Mummy's hand. Completely reboot the whole thing. And that's what they try to do, and it's completely fun. Really was a funny stuff, and a lot of little crazy shit goes on. Now, of course, the problem with this movie is, of course, there's a lot. Making this thing compare with all the old Universal horror films from the 30s and 40s, in this time period from the 30s and the 40s. So the movies are too short. I mean, that's the big main complaint you can have. Is like just over an hour, like an hour 10 minutes, like an hour 15 minutes, something like that. So it's really short film. And I'm showing you can take from all the Mummy films. I'm talking from the Mummy's Hand all the way up to the last four films, not including the original one. You can pretty much watch all of them before you watch one viewing of like Gone with the Wind or the Ten Commandments. I mean, that's how extremely short these films are. The Mummy films are. But The Mummy's Tomb is really, really. The Mummy's Hand, excuse me. The Mummy's Hand is not a bad film. I mean, I do like the old Universal horror stuff. As much of the silly supporting characters are. You know, the two magicians and stuff. It's silly, it's a distraction. I think it's a scene just to pad out the story more. But despite that, it's not a bad film. It's not a bad film. I mean, it's entertaining, it's fun. It's not the greatest movie I've ever seen. But if you're a Universal horror movie fan, of course, naturally you're going to watch this stuff. And I happen to be a Universal horror movie fan. And I do like these movies, and I do recommend, since I never really seen these movies, except for the original ones. The first film in these series I've watched, but not so much the rest of them. Because the storyline goes downhill, the plots and the silly supporting characters, and it's, you know, I mean, the quality of these films goes downhill with every sequel, in my opinion. But that's my review of The Mummy's Hand. Please click the video, please rate it, please subscribe to my channel, and please forward this video on your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and on my YouTube channel at rowdyc.com. It's all WDY, that's C.com. The homepage of Rowdy Reviewer, Chris Lee Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.